Lads, Angel Reese is currently about to be suspended. She has 7 technical fouls on the season. And if this was last season, in a 44-game season, she would have already been suspended.
Angel Reese is walking a fine line that could lead to her being benched from the WNBA. Recently, she let her emotions take over during a game and reacted in ways that left both fans and analysts shocked. If she keeps going like this, she could be suspended for getting too many technical fouls. And honestly, it's about time people start talking seriously about this growing issue.
Not only does bricklayer Ratchet Reese lead the league in turnovers, she also leads the league in technical fouls with 7. And if she gets one more technical foul, her goofy ass is sitting down to be suspended for a game, man, because she can't control that ratchet bad attitude that I tell y'all about all the time.
Reese has already picked up 7 technical fouls in just 22 games by July 2025. That's a huge number for any professional player in such a short amount of time. If she gets one more, she could face serious consequences. WNBA rules clearly say that 8 technical fouls lead to an automatic 1-game suspension. The league recently raised this limit from 7 to 8 to match the new 44-game schedule. But even with that change, Reese is still right on the edge.
What you got, Angel?
Reese.
We're dribbling.
Cross. Clean to Cove and Angel Reese.
Foul.
Take her out with the dribble. A lot of ball on that play. You can see by the facial expression of Marie. She knew she had a lot of ball as well.
Get rushing
I can see it.
Angel Reese going inside. She's using her size and
Somebody.
physicality, trying to push Kalundakova off the space.
Angel Reese has already drawn 3 fouls, and I think she just got attacked.
The WNBA is seeing more and more players act out aggressively, not just against other players, but even with their own coaches. This season, technical fouls are rising across the board. ESPN reports show that before the All-Star break in one recent year, players had already received 92 technical fouls, 11 more than the total number from the whole previous season. Coaches also racked up 30 technicals, and the season wasn't even finished.
Genuinely, one of the funny things about this is that her fans are arguing that none of the techs are warranted. They are all warranted. Like, what are we talking about? Every one of these techs are warranted. I'm not joking when I say this. They're like, oh, 4 of her 7 techs have been from double techs. Yeah. Something happens in the game and you square up to your opponent. It's a double tech. And your opponent, you go head to head with your opponent's a double tech. It's never not been a double tech.
The league's head of officiating has tried to calm people down, saying there's no plan to give out more technicals this year. But the stats say otherwise. And players have noticed the change. Dallas Wings center Liz Cambage once said she got a technical just for giving a referee a look. That kind of reaction, built on frustration and emotion, is exactly what we're seeing now with Angel Reese.
Goofy ass Ratchet Reese out here doing so great on the court with that bad ratchet attitude, racking up tech after tech after tech, man. Fake ass point forward, leading the league in turnovers because she wants to act like she's a point guard so bad, to act like she's better than Caitlin Clark when her ass can't dribble or do anything. How the fuck are you a forward leading in turnovers because you want to try to be a point guard so bad with no
If you're enjoying this, make sure to subscribe. Now, let's talk about the moment Angel Reese crossed a line with her own coach. During a timeout in a tied game against the Washington Mystics, just 30 seconds left on the clock, Reese slapped a clipboard out of assistant coach and Crosby's hands. That moment happened live on national television and instantly went viral.
Are picking up on is when she is walking over to the bench and she slaps the clipboard out of her coach's hand. And you guys, my honest reaction to this when I first saw it, I was just laughing. It's kind of like the reaction that you're seeing from me right here. I wouldn't look into this too hard. I know it's already become controversial because they're like, oh, if another player did this, there would be think pieces written about it.
And Crosby, who is not just an assistant coach but also the team's vice president of basketball operations and head of strength and conditioning, was simply trying to communicate with Reese during that tense timeout. But Reese lost her cool. The emotion and disrespect she showed in that moment shocked everyone. It was a public display of defiance that revealed deeper issues within the Chicago Sky. And it wasn't a one-time thing either. Earlier this season, Reese openly said that she and her teammates were tired of being constantly yelled at by Coach Tyler Marsh and his staff. These types of comments show that there are serious problems in the relationship between players and coaches, far beyond just normal game day tension.
Emotional decline continues for Angel Reese. The temper tantrums, the complete loss of emotional control continues for the Bayou Barbie, as well as the Chi-Town Barbie and Double Double Barbie, and whatever other alias that Angel Reese has decided to give her.
Now let's look at another bold move from Reese. During the All-Star weekend, she tried to launch her own signature shoe. And it was clear she timed it to take advantage of Caitlin Clark's popularity. Reese revealed her new Reebok Angel Reese 1 Meb Bounce colorway during the All-Star festivities. She clearly expected that Clark's role as team captain would pull in huge viewer numbers, which would bring more attention to her shoe. But here's the twist: while trying to grow her brand, Reese now faces the very real risk of getting suspended for too many technical fouls. The timing couldn't be worse. If she ends up suspended just days after launching her shoe, it could cause a media storm and badly hurt both her reputation and sales.
There is the part of me that's like, is this really necessary? And shouldn't Angel Reese be able to market herself at this point without invoking or even, insinuating some sort of attachment to Caitlin Clark? Because if I'm being honest about it, people say that moment was huge. It will live forever. That moment will live forever. But Caitlin Clark was on this trajectory already. And if anyone has benefited more from the attachment, at least from an attention standpoint.
Instead of getting the huge attention she hoped for, Reese got the opposite. The All-Star game didn't have the hype she expected, mostly because Caitlin Clark wasn't there. Clark missed the game due to injury, and the numbers showed her absence. The 2025 WNBA All-Star Game brought in 2.2 million viewers, a 36% drop from last year's record-breaking 3.44 million viewers. Sure, it was still the second most watched All-Star Game ever, but the drop clearly came from Clark not being there. Even ticket prices reflected it. Once Clark pulled out, ticket prices in Indianapolis dropped from $121 to just $64. And when Clark does play, she changes everything. Her Indiana Fever games draw around 16,840 fans on average, almost double the 8,552 seen at other games. Some venues even have to switch to bigger arenas just to handle the crowd when Clark is playing.
WNBA All-Star Weekend is supposed to be the star of all stars. All the big dogs is out. Asia Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, Brianna Stewart, everybody's out. The big dogs are out. You got the rookie, you got Angel Reese, Miss Me Too. All of the stars are here. And look at this news. The get-in price for the WNBA All-Star Game in Indianapolis has dropped 48% from $121 to just $64 after news broke that Caitlin Clark won't.
And that brings us to a hard truth that many people in the WNBA don't want to say out loud: Angel Reese is not Caitlin Clark. Even though Clark hasn't been at her best this year due to injuries, she still draws more attention and excitement than a fully healthy Reese. In 2025 alone, Clark has dealt with 3 separate injuries: left quad strain, left groin injury, and a right groin injury that kept her out of the All-Star weekend. She's missed nearly 40% of the Indiana Fever's games. But despite all that, her influence on the league is unmatched. Even games she doesn't play in have higher ratings because of her overall impact. WNBA games without Clark are now averaging 428,000 viewers, compared to 301,000 last year, a 40% jump. That shows how much she's lifted the entire league. Caitlin Clark isn't just a star, she's the tide that's raising everyone.
There's the actual, let's take it seriously for a second. Take over your trap. I mean, who's she talking about right there? Because Clark takes over every single trap she goes to. In fact, they gotta expand the trap so she can take over more real estate. Every single place she goes to. I mean, there is zero argument to possibly be made that she isn't the biggest attraction, the one that brings the most attention, whatever. It's not even worth talking.